Welcome to the Business Boys Talkin' Business Virtual Power Lunch. Please welcome your hosts, Tyler Price and Brian Magleby.
Well, here we are.
We are going to update that. We are no longer the virtual power lunch, but Jeremy will be here on the first week of October, so we will have him recut that. Most of it sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
But we are the talking business, the Business Boys talking business. But
something. We're a mouthful.
Look at that snowball.
Yeah, that's like coming soon. Just so everybody. I hate to be that guy.
Can I tell you? Last week, between Thursday and Friday, it changed. I mean, Thursday was like 98 degrees. Friday, I went to go to the concert, short sleeve, thinking all was good. No. 70 degrees.
Yeah, 77.
60 by the time the concert started, and I can tell you, I missed the jacket.
Yeah, so. We're 74 today, and
how can things change so fast?
Well, you know, it's
overnight.
It'll sit here for a minute, right? Hopefully.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be raining almost every day the rest of the week here in Eastern Idaho. So welcome to fall. We are getting it. Hopefully the trees are going to start turning.
Yeah, well, and hopefully they get some rain up in Salmon too.
They do. Yeah. Gotta put those fires out up there. Yeah. So welcome to Talkin' Business. Let's talk about last week's show, man.
Yeah, Carrie's a great entrepreneur here in Eastern Idaho. She's done some from just starting to where she is today, owning a building, adding the preschool.
I mean,
stuff.
Talk about smart business when you add something that takes up and utilizes your building from almost sun up to way past sundown.
Yeah. So, she's doing cool stuff, and it was great to have her on the show.
Yeah.
So
it was good to Carrie Reagan, Eagle Rock Dance, Bloom Fine Arts Studio. Talk about our sponsors. Can we do this show without our sponsors?
No, because BBSI, we just ran their little clip. Yeah, if you are needing any sort of help with your business, really, I mean, there's a full range of sales trainings to payroll to HR to exit strategies. I mean, there's a great group over there at BBSI, and they have a cool little room there that you could just walk in and grab a drink out of.
If you're thirsty, just walk in, tell them that Brian and Tyler sent you. Grab a Diet Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew. They got it all in there.
If they seem mad about it, then don't mention my name. Just mention Brian's name. So, anyway.
We like the guys at BBSI. Yeah. They're the best in the area. The Small Business Development Center, what is it?
That's the best kept secret in Idaho. If you're in business or thinking of starting a business, you need to pay a visit to the SBDC and get the free help that they offer. There's also some paid classes, but by and large, the majority of what they do is free services that really give a fighting chance to new businesses and even just helping businesses as they grow.
We can. So, it's all housed at the Idaho Innovation Center. Give a little plug. We do have 1 or 2 offices available. If your business fits the model of being at the Idaho Innovation Center, please give us a call. We've got some great offices. Couple of them are some of our prime offices. So if you're interested, come check us out at the Idaho Innovation Center. Full Pine Marketing keeps us up to date each and every week.
Runs a great website, and if you have SEO or website needs, Ryan Jose will help you. In fact, he's got a class that we'll talk about here in just a minute. But first, let's talk about New Line Media.
Oh, man, they do a great job. We are in their studio, and they produce our show each and every week. If you need any video work to promote your video, I think we're going to show at the very end of the show kind of a little ad that talks about what he does at New Line Media. But check Tyson Bolcom out on Facebook. New Line Media, search them out. They does a great job. So thank you to our sponsors. We couldn't do it each and every week without them. So let's talk about some of the classes that we have coming up here. Tomorrow starts our QuickBooks class. Can't tell you enough about this class. This is the last time that this guy's going to be teaching the class.
Then he's retiring, huh?
Jared Blackham. He has done a phenomenal job. Here's how good a job he's done. I think he's taught the class for now 3 years. He's never not got a 5-star rating.
Wow.
How do you do that?
Well, because you didn't even do that.
I can tell you that I haven't got to his expectations, but I'll tell you that I'm number 2, but it's a long ways down to number 2 when he's got all straight 5-star ratings. If you do QuickBooks Online, the desktop, The class runs in the evenings. Starting tomorrow on the 14th, and then Monday and Wednesday evenings from 6 to 9. We can do it. We've got a few spots left in it. We've got a great class this time. We've already exceeded what our expectations were on it, but we've still got some room for a few more. If you are going to be gone, we've got one person that's going to be gone, so I'm going to be recorded on Zoom so that they can watch one of their sessions. And if you need to make those kind of concessions, we will help you out. If you need to know intermediate, it's beginning and intermediate kind of assistance with QuickBooks. So check it out. It starts tomorrow.
And then we have the online marketing and sales class coming up, being taught by Ryan
The one and
Jost
only Ryan Yost
with Volpine Marketing.
Yep.
So that's coming
in
up
every Wednesday afternoon in October. And then we have the Systemizing Sales for Success. Bunch of S's there. But
wow.
Jared from BBSI teaches that class. And I can't tell you, every business has to sell something. And if you want to learn how to better sell your service or product, you got to be in that class. It's literally a must. You will walk away from that class. I guarantee out of all of our classes that you will get by far your benefit money-wise out of it, or else I'll give you a full refund.
Wow, there you go.
Yep, never had to give a refund. That's how good of guarantee that is. So check out our classes. Go to idahosbd.org and you can register for those. And love to see you in a class coming up here in the future. So today's show, we got Dr. Tyler Burke.
Kind of thinking outside the box in how he's doing things, I think.
I love the way he's kind of thinking. And so we've got Dr. Tyler Burke. He's been hiking in the mountains last week. And man, he went all the way up to Upper Palisades Lake. Saw some beautiful country up there. That's a hike. I've been up there real quickly and back, but I would love to go up and enjoy some of that scenery. But I'll tell you, he's got a great business that we're going to learn all about. Stepping out, like you said, outside of the box. So we're excited to have Dr. Tyler Burke with Switchback Direct P in the house today. So we want to watch this quick video. Talks about the SBDC that we've talked a little bit about, and then we'll have Dr. Tyler Burke on the set.
Yeah, Tyson had to run down to the corner market there for a second. Now he's back. Just kidding, Tyson.
At least we got the background noise
we
shut off.
We had jets flying out there, it sounded like. Yeah, there you go. But hey, so you're into physical therapy and then had some pretty legitimate schooling to get there. So typically, and I remember having some physical therapy for a back one time. I'd go somewhere and they'd make me in a lot of pain, and then I'd leave and it would get better. And then that process went on until I didn't need them anymore, right? But usually it was going to a place and getting work done. So your model is completely different. So first off, how did you come up with it? And secondly, how do you accomplish what you're doing with physical therapy with your clients without actually being there?
Because, and we're just going to turn the rest of the show over to you, because that's a lot of questions he's asked you right there.
So. There's a lot to unpack with that.
Yeah, good.
So how did I come up with it? It was actually pre-COVID, and what I was doing, I went to a national conference that American Physical Therapy Association puts on, and I was really going there to just geek out on all the new research and stuff for like 4 days and learn different techniques that are going to help my patients get better quicker. But I've always had this desire to have my own practice. And so between the other courses that I really wanted to go to, I was like, I'm going to try and go to a business class. And it just so happened that the one business class I could get into was about telehealth physical therapy and how that's going to be the future PT type of thing. And I thought, well, that seems pretty bold statement,
Wow,
right?
that's a little bit out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years ago, you never thought someone was going to bring you a hamburger from Uber or from DoorDash or whatever.
Yeah.
That's true.
So-
Yeah, I mean, things have really changed
Yeah.
quickly, especially with the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So this is actually in February of 2020, and so right before
Right
the
before
pandemic.
COVID.
And before then, I was kind of thinking, what am I going to do that's going to, how can I get into owning my own business? Because I've got so much student debt. That doesn't sound appealing.
Yeah.
And in 7 years of school, I always joke with people, I had like a week worth of business classes.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
like, I really don't know what I'm doing as far as that goes.
Yeah.
And so after going to this class, I was like, wow, that seems like something
New and innovative.
yeah, that's interesting. You know, I need to really learn more about that. And so I did. And finally I got up the courage, I'm going to roll the dice here. And then we're in a pandemic. And I was like, well, people are starting to get more used to telehealth, or not just telehealth, but everything. Everything's virtual, everything's online. And so we'll give this a try. And so I did. And I was pleasantly surprised to see, patients getting better and less treatments. Patient satisfaction improved, and there's actually some research that showed that telehealth improved patient satisfaction.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, well, it seems legit, and it's been working ever since then. So
Yeah.
I've been in business. Tomorrow will be 2 years,
Wow.
actually. So
Wow.
anniversary tomorrow.
And are your clients local then, or where are your clients coming from? Because it seems to me at some level you could be nationally or internationally, and I just don't know all the regulations that come with it. But are they local, or where does your scope go to?
Right. So it has to be in a state that you're licensed. So I
Okay.
still have to be licensed in the state that my patients are. So
Right.
I just treat people in Idaho right now, but I've treated people in Pocatello and Rexburg. Mostly East Idaho right now,
Right.
just because a lot of people haven't heard of us quite yet, and so I'm just focusing on East Idaho for now.
Yeah.
So some of the questions that I was posing to him before the show was, so how does this work with insurance? So tell me kind of how you work around the insurance.
Right. So we're an out-of-network practice, which is really good news for most of our clients, because I can tell you at insurance-based practices doesn't mean that you can't get really good
But you're
treatment.
limited.
You are limited. Sometimes insurances ask clinicians to treat people with one hand tied behind their back. And what I mean by that is, okay, we'll let this person have 6 visits. Well, maybe they really need 8 or 12. Or we will only let you treat with X, Y, and Z, but maybe they need A, B, and C done for them. And so it can be a barrier for people. And then the other thing too is if you're going to a traditional insurance-based clinic, one of the downsides is that a lot of people now, especially younger people, a lot of the people that I've been working with, they have really high deductibles. And going to a PT is considered a specialist. And so you have to pay more for your copay. And by the time you reach that deductible, you've already paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if you want to go that insurance route, it gets, without getting too thick in the weeds here,
Yeah.
but basically what happens is if you're going to use your insurance and then insurance isn't covering it yet, they can't cut you a break. They
Right.
can't give you a deal. They have to charge you what they would be charging insurance, which is always more.
Yeah.
So that's one of the benefits, I guess, with working with us.
So give them kind of a scope of the kind of work that you can do all through the TV, through the screen. So give them kind of an example of how this works.
Well, first of all, I think the most important piece of how I try to treat with my patients is I always do what's called a discovery visit. We do a consultation. It's free. We can either do it on the phone or we do a virtual visit, and it's all through, basically everyone's familiar with like Zoom. It's not really Zoom. It's a little bit more secure than that, but we meet that way, and I make sure that they're a good fit, because not everybody's going to be a good fit, and I want to make sure that I'm doing right by my patients and make sure that we're going to work well together. And then we move on to evaluation. And when I first learned about telehealth, I was like, how am I going to do an evaluation and get an accurate diagnosis? How do I do that without the hands-on piece?
Yeah.
And so, thinking back to my schooling, we learned that 75% of a diagnosis or your evaluation comes from just talking to people.
Yeah.
And that's pretty easy, right? So, and the other 25% is, all right, I want you to move this way. Go ahead and turn to your right. I'm going to have you bend this direction or push on this bony prominence. Does that hurt? What does that do to your pain? And so I can get a pretty accurate diagnosis through a telehealth visit like that. And then we transition into the treatments. And my second hiccup when I first learned about telehealth, as I was telling you, Brian, was that, well, how am I going to do this without equipment?
Yeah.
And then I really got to thinking about it. And all these practices, I used to be a travel PT, and so I've been in a lot of different clinics, a lot of settings. And like, you know what? I've never had a person come in and be like, man, my back's been killing me for the last month. And I go, oh, okay, go over to the squat rack, put 225 on there, knock out 10 reps, and let me know how you feel, right? You know, I never did that.
Don't need that.
But what I have done is, can you lay on your stomach? Let's go ahead and do some press ups. Let's walk through some of these body weight exercises. Let's stretch muscles that have been getting tight for the last weeks, months, or years, and start working on these deep core muscles that have gotten weak over that time period too. And you don't really need weight for any of those. But what people have done, and you probably did when you had therapy, was I bet you used TheraBands. Right? And those are pretty easy to ship to people. And so when people need equipment like that, I'll send it to them if they don't already have it, or if they're local, then I'll just drop it off. And then the third piece is huge, was the manual therapy, because everyone in everyone's mind is like, how do you do that hands-on portion? That's critical. You know, that's a crucial piece of physical therapy. And without oversimplifying it, basically, I teach people how to do it to themselves. You know, and what I love about that is it empowers my patients. If they have this problem, come back in 6 months or 2 years, they're like, you know what, I did this to help with this pain. Let's see if that works again. And so that puts a lot of the ability into my patients' hands, so they're not relying on the therapist all the time to do things.
One of the big things I can see that this saves is, the travel cost and the time that takes and everything. I went recently to a doctor down in Salt Lake with my father, and we got done with the appointment, and I'm like, we spent 3 hours driving down here, 3 hours driving back, and 95% of this stuff could have been done over Zoom type deal. And so I think it's a great way of, it could have saved us 6 hours of travel time and things like that. But that's one of the advantages of what telehealth can do.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, not every situation is appropriate for it. But when it is, it saves time. You don't have to leave work for half an hour, drive to a clinic. Have an hour's worth of treatment, drive half hour back to work, so the convenience piece is really, really huge on this, and comfort too. A lot of people don't feel comfortable working out in front of other people. And so,
I know
people
a lot of
comfortable.
physical therapy places, they have 15 people in there at a time, and you're going up against quite a few different varieties of people type deal. So
Absolutely.
So who's the client that you kind of speak to though? Like, what is there a specific injury or something that you're helping more than others, or is it the full gamut?
Kind of our phrase really is, we help injured outdoor enthusiasts to get out of pain quickly with convenient telehealth physical therapy, so they can get back to their favorite adventures. So we're really focused on helping people get back to doing the things that they love to do, get back to hiking or kayaking or camping, those types of things. One of my patients, she's having knee arthritis, and I was working with her. She just got a new camper and couldn't climb into the new camper. That's really what my focus is. Yeah. When I started off, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a telehealth company, and I thought I had it really boiled down. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to help people with low back pain, and we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and did all the things the business classes tell you to do. They tell you, make sure you know who your client is. Make sure you are really focused in on that. And I started working with a business coach, and things just weren't clicking for whatever reason. This is early on. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, I thought I really had this narrowed down. I've got my avatar. I know her name. And we got talking. After a few weeks, we were talking about camping and hiking, and I was kayaking, and we started talking about all that, and because that's what I love to do. And she goes, Tyler, that's your niche. And I was like, never really occurred to me. And so we kind of transitioned over the last year and a half, and we just last month launched our new brand, Switchback Direct PT, to better speak to that outdoor loving group of people.
No, very, very cool. I mean, it's again, very forward thinking. it is taking something that when Brian said, yeah, Tyler does this PT through Zoom, I'm like, well, how does that work?
How do you massage and do the things? But I could see there's some definite advantages of it. So.
Yeah. So then, and how do you do your marketing? How do you find acquire new clients and all that?
Yeah, so this is a one-man show.
Yeah.
And it's pretty low budget right now, so we're still trying to grow, bring in new clients. So doing things like this, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. It's an honor. You tell me some of the guests that you've had that I hadn't seen. I was like, wow, that's some pretty top-notch people. So I feel
we like
honored
to
be
cater
here.
to the people who are the movers and shakers in business, I guess you could say. So.
Yeah.
But also, I try to put out a lot of content on Instagram,
Right.
Facebook, and word of mouth is probably my biggest. Once I've had some happy customers, they've sent some new people to me, and it's kind of grown that way.
Yeah. So as you kind of evolve, because this is still something that you're really getting more traction on, you still have another job to help supplement income then, right? But as you make that next move where this is your full-time gig, will it be a hybrid of in-person, or will you just stay strictly to virtual?
Yeah, that's a great question. Great question, because I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I don't ever have any answers. So I'm glad someone else owns that. It's like, I don't know.
Well, so kind of in my head always was, I'm going to have this brick and mortar practice. I'm going to see people one-on-one. I had all these things listed out that I wanted to do, and then things just evolved to where telehealth was introduced to me, and I was like, wow, this is a way that I can help a lot of people and offer something that's different, because there's a ton of brick and mortar places out there, right? Eventually, there are, like I mentioned, some things that are just treated better in person, or people just feel more comfortable that way too.
Yeah.
And so offering that down the road would definitely be something I'm interested in, but where things will take me, I don't know. Because if you asked me 5 years ago if I was going to have a telehealth practice, I'd said, telehealth what?
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I wanted to kind of go through some of the things that he put in, some of his key factors of success for Dr. Tyler Burke is that he truly cares about his patients and their outcomes. He goes the extra mile with the experience. It's not just a transaction, and accepting that change is necessary as long as those changes don't conflict with our core values. So absolutely great. Some advice that he gives to business owners is develop relationships with customers, how crucial that is in business. Absolutely. And of course, failures will happen. It's inevitable, necessary, and also isn't final. That's it's some great advice for entrepreneurs. You just have to do it, and there is no substitute for authenticity. I think those are some great advice. What are some things that you've stepped out of the box in the way you're thinking here with physical therapy? What are some advice that you'd give to other entrepreneurs out there?
I think some of the biggest things for me, we're raised in this culture of avoid failure. Right, I played college football, and I know you're a football coach, Tyler, and failure just felt like you lose. That competitive spirit in me is like, I can't fail. And when you're trying to start a business in something, or when you're just trying to start a business, period, if you don't have much business background, you go into this like, well, how can I avoid failure?
Yeah.
And then the more I've gotten into this, the more I realize like, failure is necessary. Like you have to fail at certain things. You have to fall on your face a few times so that way you can kind of redirect and grow and become, even better the next day. And so it was changing that mindset for me was, failing's okay as long as we're going to learn something from it and we're going to grow and we're maybe going to head down a different road. It's not final. There's less finality to that word now to me than there was before I started.
So we watch game film, and right now I'm coaching little sixth graders, and I still have it professionally filmed. And then when we get together, there's two columns. These are our wins, and this is the learning column, which is tied back to how do we look at failure? Well, that's the negative connotation of it is, oh, I failed. No, you get to learn that you need to change something about how you're doing it. And so that's what we call it, wins and learning. That's how, I think in business, you better have that, because nothing goes according to plan. Unfortunately, right? I'm sure you've had some little pivots along the way as well. So
good. Well, tell people how they can get a hold of you. They want if this interests them, if they're interested. You say you do the free initial meetings and stuff like that. How can they get a hold of you?
Yep, probably the hub would be our website, which is www.switchbackdpt.com. It also has, I think, links to Instagram and Facebook there.
Yeah.
And,
You're
I've
very
already-
active. I watched all this transition as you went to Switchback through Facebook and all your posts and your energy that you had there. Absolutely great. So check him out on Facebook, Instagram, and his website, switchbackdpt.com. Is that right?
That's correct.
Good.
You got it. Yeah.
Very good. Is there anything else that you want to share with our business audience here about Switchback?
Yeah, I think that if you've been dealing with something for the last, some pain or just some aches or something that's been going on for a couple weeks, month or something, it's not getting any better, give me a call. I promise I won't bite or anything. Let's just talk it out, see if it's something that therapy's even needed, or if it's not, then I'm glad to kind of steer you in the right direction to help you out.
Very
Great.
good. Well, we appreciate you being here today. Talk about this quote that we've had staring everybody in the face. So this is a great little quote.
Thank you. Yeah, this quote here, I love quotes, and this quote here is from one of my favorite authors of all time, Bob Goff. And it goes, don't let who you were talk you out of who you were becoming. And I think that's just such a big lesson. We can think of all of our failures in the past and think of, maybe the person that I was, 10 years ago isn't, there's some insecurities there maybe,
Yeah.
And that can kind of keep you from becoming the person who you know you can be and who you want to be. And so that one really speaks to me.
I like it. Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, you had some other quotes on there, and some of them we've had from some other guests. But whether you think you can or you think you can't,
You're right.
you're right.
You're right.
Yeah, and another one: the only place success becomes before work is in the dictionary. And that's a great one by Vince Lombardi. And today you are you. That's truer than true. No one alive is youer than you. Who said that?
Dr. Seuss, maybe?
You did. Dr.
Seuss.
Seuss.
Yeah.
You didn't even have that.
I
in front
still
of me,
read
dude.
Dr. Seuss.
I think that goes back to the authenticity. You really got to be authentic. Be you. People can sniff out a fake a mile away, and I think that's really important for business and life, probably.
Dude, I got to say kudos to Dr. Tyler Burke for stepping out of the box. This is the first telehealth type deal that I've heard of like this, and that's what interested me and wanted me to have Dr. Tyler Burke on the show today. So absolutely wish you the best with Switchback Direct PT, and I'm hoping that our viewers will check him out. So we appreciate you being here today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So we're going to transition right into doing some training. This is one of my favorite training topics. I'm just a big believer that attitude is everything in life.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Because, there's like our buddy Patrick, right? He's high energy.
Dude, he just came over and did a Facebook Live with me a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Man, he was
he's
just
all
PT
high attitude.
50 Tucson.
Yeah. He like kind of freaks me out sometimes.
Yeah,
to be perfectly honest. But Patrick's great. I like Patrick a lot. But that's an example of I have never seen that guy without a smile on his face and without high energy, without the right attitude. So we'll use him as an example of maybe, because I at times sit there and overanalyze things and get caught in the weeds.
Yeah, but how important attitude. We've got a great video that we're going to show here after we talk about some of these things, but in business, attitude is huge. And so let's go through some of this list. You want to start us off there?
Greet your colleagues. This is called friendship, I think. Yes, and hi. Being like today at my business, one of our employees' son broke a collarbone. So if I just focus on, I need to know where we are in this, or I stop and we talk 25, 30 minutes about her son and where he's at with him. So anyway, I just think that's more than just greeting, really understand where people are, because work is a small segment of what we do. So you might as well understand them on a personal level.
Yep. So we'll go through some of these, and these are on the screen. I encourage you to read them. Give the best of yourself. That is called sincerity. Organize your day. That is called preparation.
Sorry, I can't read. We should have had Tyler. Now that you prepared work, that's called action. Yeah, because sometimes I'm the worst at that. Yeah. It's easier to think about it than do it sometimes, right? I mean, you could still be thinking about telehealth if you didn't take action, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, Tyler, give us the next one.
Let's see. Trust that everything will be okay. That is called faith.
Yeah.
Amen. And I bet you got You thought a lot about that as you were up hiking to Upper Palisades Lake last week.
Yeah.
Wow, man! I saw some of his pictures. What animals did you see? Beautiful elk, not too far from you.
A moose. It was a moose.
moose, sorry,
Just right up the
moose.
trail. I saw a grouse, a black bear.
Black
I
bear.
had the
There's gotta
beach
be a
all to
bear.
myself, and I'm just standing there, and I taking some pictures, and I turn around, and I see this bear walking across the other side of the beach.
I
and said,
saw that
"Oh, no."
video and was just like,
Yeah.
wow.
So there was a lot of faith there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, really. Work with happiness. That's called enthusiasm. Give the best of yourself. That is called excellence.
Help those with difficulties. That's called compassion. Don't gossip. Man, that's again an easy one. That's called integrity. And realize that everyone is not like you, and that is called tolerance.
Give a couple of them.
Treat everyone failure. Treat everyone fairly. That is called respect. Tell the truth. That is called honor. Plant seeds of love and trust to reap what you sow.
Amen to that. So,
Yeah.
so we've got and at the bottom there it says the greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future mirrored by merely changing his attitude. So, highly encourage you to just take on that positive attitude. Got to watch this inspirational video that we're going to show here at the end. It's called The Power of Attitude. It's by Mac Anderson, and we're going to show it here at the end of the show. But we got some prizes to give away. So, what's a question that we can ask? That I got a good one. We just mentioned it, so it's not too long ago. Where did Dr. Tyler Burke go camp? You went hiking, camping for a couple days.
Yep.
Text me. Put the number on the screen. Text 208-520-9400. Text that. You are going to win not only a T-shirt, a sticker, and you're going to get 50% off a visit to Dr. Tyler Burke. So,
right.
and I'm going to add to that. I'm going to throw in a copy of this book called The Power of Attitude.
This is all one winner.
All
one
one
winner
winner.
gets all this.
This is a whole
Oh,
package.
wow.
Phone's going to light up here.
Let's
so,
see. Yeah, people are texting.
so yeah.
Mike, the trainer.
Yep, Mike's already,
All right.
but he's not answering
He's not-
the right
yeah,
question.
he's
He hasn't
not
got all the
answering- yeah.
answers. So
Come on, get on it,
You
Mike.
can still get on it and win this. But all of this is the package deal.
Wow.
Thanks to Switchback Direct PT. So let's talk about the show next week. Big
Let's
one.
do it. Yeah. Who do we got?
You know,
I do, but I forgot.
President.
Oh yeah, Rick Heyman, President Rick Heyman. This guy.
Rick Heyman.
What a blessing it was for our community to have this guy here.
Oh,
what
the guy's
he's been able to
amazing.
do,
He's
and the
got
direction.
some big announcements that he's
Yep.
going to be talking about next week. Wow, he's got some big things that are going to affect the community here in Eastern Idaho in a big time way.
Yeah.
So we're excited for him. We got another couple shows coming after that are just absolutely great. We got some more great people that will be joining us. So
Yeah.
that's exciting. Check out this video here by what's called The Power of Attitude. And if you don't get pumped up after watching this, you need to go see a psychologist.
Yeah, or Tyler Burke.
Or Tyler Burke, one of the two. All right. Thanks, everybody. Give us a thumbs up. This is how we end every show. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
The purest essence of what makes a business tick is sometimes fleeting. It's not always available to draw on demand. So if you can capture these things on video, you're capturing magic in a bottle. My name is Tyson, and I own New Line Media. I really believe that the keystone to any successful business is the connection that that business builds with the people that it serves. Traditionally, these attributes were all achieved through interpersonal communication. It came through authentic connection. Then the arena of the internet introduced a whole range of resources that expanded what businesses were capable of achieving. But the trade-off for these new resources was that authentic connection with the people that we serve. And without that connection factor, businesses become commodities, just a name and a price tag. So the dilemma businesses face today is how to preserve that sense of connection in a digital space. And I believe that the answer to that problem is video. At New Line Media, my goal is to help you take your influence, your passion, your spirit, your essence, and make it available to anyone, at any time, no matter where they are. When the power of video is truly harnessed, it can become so much more than just a flashy way to promote yourself. Video can help your business build trust in those you serve or want to serve. It can build familiarity. It provides information and education, and most of all, it can pull your customer into your space for a few moments and give them a taste of what working with you would be like. It provides them with that in-house connection experience, no matter where they are. And that is what I focus on, because it's all about making a connection. So if you're a business owner who's ready to shift gears and unbind yourself using video as the business asset that it should be, then go to my site and submit a request to work with me. If I think I'm going to be the best fit for you, then I will reach out and we will schedule a time to meet.